भाई वो खुल के बात करें और भाई ये समझे आर्थिक समस्या क्या है और उसको हल करें जनहित में। मैं आत्माओं से सेवा कर रहा हूँ सर।
जो आपने कहा वो मेरी भाषा बस आप।
हाँ ये मैं चाहता था
सर नमस्कार। एक फोटो कैसे ठीक है सर परिवार में सब ठीक है डेली
आ जाओ आ गए ये जो है हमारे यहाँ ये नालसा के अंदर हम रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं।
समझ आ गया। अरे फोटो ले
सर ये सर आज चीफ जस्टिस इंडिया पहुंचे हैं फरीदाबाद में, तो आपने इसके बारे में क्या डिमांड रखी सर? जो अपना
एस बड़ा ना
जी
नालसा से डिस्ट्रिक्ट लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी से
जी
अनंगपुर गांव में एक सेंटर बनाया है। उसमें मेरे को वहाँ पे ड्यूटी लगाई गई है कि सभी लोगों की समस्याएं देखना है, गांव के लोगों की, आसपास के लोगों की, सबकी समस्या देख के उसको हल करना है।
सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है ये तोड़फोड़ और जमीन का है, अनंगपुर गांव की जमीन को
हाँ,
बचाने का
बहुत
है।
बड़ी
तो
समस्या है
जी
और लोगों के साथ अगर अन्याय होगा
उस पे जस्टिस साहब ने क्या कहा है? नहीं,
मैंने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि क्या हम आपको ये ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट अपनी जो है रियल रिपोर्ट जो है ग्राउंड की भेज सकते हैं? तो कहना हम रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं। कह रहे आप कर सकते हो, आप भेज सकते हो। और मैं बहुत खुश हूँ इस चीज़ से और मैं भी यही चाहता हूँ कि सब लोगों का जो है जनहित में काम हो और सबको न्याय मिले। नालसा नेशनल लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी के एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरमैन हूँ, जो आज यहाँ जज साहब आए हमारे
जी
हाँ जस्टिस साहब आए थे, ऑनरेबल जस्टिस सूर्य।
तो उम्मीद है उनसे उनकी कहीं बच जाएगा अनंगपुर गांव?
नहीं ये कहना अभी नहीं है, ये कहना नहीं है अभी, ये तो अभी केस चल रहा है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, केस चल रहा है। लेकिन जो हमारी पैरेलल अथॉरिटी है नेशनल लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी, उसके नीचे आता है हालसा हरियाणा लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी, उसके अंडर आता है डालसा डिस्ट्रिक्ट लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी। तो उसमें जो है ये स्टेप बाय स्टेप जाएगा, लोगों की समस्या हर समस्या सुनी जाएगी और जो समस्या हम यहाँ हल कर सकते हैं यही कर सकते हैं।
अब चीफ जस्टिस साहब ने तो बोल ही दिया हम बिल्कुल सुनेंगे, तो कहीं ना कहीं तो सुनवाई होगी।
नहीं तो सुनवाई की हर एक की होगी,
हर एक की होगी
पूरे देश में। हर एक जो जिसको भी न्याय चाहिएगा, जो गरीब से गरीब है, जो कहीं नहीं जा सकता, उसके लिए ही तो बनाया है गाँव में सेंटर।
अच्छा,
गाँव में सेंटर बना दिया और हमको ड्यूटी लगा दी वहाँ पे गांव अनंगपुर में फरीदाबाद में। तो भाई वहाँ पे तुम देख रेख करो, सुनो लोगों को समस्याएं सुनो और उनको हल करो।
यानी कि डालसा, हालसा और नालसा तीनों अब
तीनों जो है ये पैरेलल हैं पूरा। डालसा पहले है, फिर उसके बाद में है आपका हालसा, फिर उसके बाद में नालसा। तो ये तो नेशनल पूरे अपने एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरमैन है ये जस्टिस साहब। तो उन्होंने जो आके जो कहा है वो बिल्कुल अच्छा कहा है, लोगों को समझाया, अवेयरनेस किया पूरा अच्छे तरीके से। और मैं बहुत खुश हूँ उनकी हर बातों से कि भाई ये बहुत सही है और वो सुनना चाहते हैं। उन्होंने ये एक बात और बोली कि मैं पूरे PLVs की मीटिंग बुलाना चाहता हूँ पूरे देश की, और वो उन्हें सुनेंगे, सबको सुनेंगे। तो ये और अच्छी बात है कि वो जो है सुने। महीने में कोई मीटिंग बुलाए, 6 महीने में बुलाए, साल में बुलाए, मीटिंग बुलाए तो उनकी जो है उस एरिया की समस्या आएगी, उस ज़िले की समस्या आएगी, तो वो कंपाइल करके जो है उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करें।
सबसे बड़ा तो है EVM है मुद्दा। वैसे EVM मुद्दा सबसे बड़ा है। अगर आपका वोट, अगर जज का वोट जज के ही प्रतिनिधि को ना जाए तो फिर क्या बात है?
राजनीति की बातें हैं। में ये है कि जिसको न्याय नहीं मिला उसको न्याय मिलेगा।
ये भी तो न्याय के लिए है। अगर उसमें भी वो भी तो न्याय के लिए भटक रहे हैं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के एडवोकेट अधिवक्ता वहाँ पे धरने दे रहे हैं जी।
वो सब्जेक्ट थोड़ा
ये तो हमारा मौलिक अधिकार है।
जो आम लोगों की तो इतनी समस्याएं छोटी छोटी बहुत है,
ठीक।
मान लो कॉरपोरेशन में नहीं हो रहा, नोएडा में नहीं काम हो रहा, फलाना में नहीं हो रहा, इधर में नहीं हो रहा, बहुत से सरकार भी जोर लगाती है अपनी, लेकिन वो कितना इम्प्लीमेंट होता है देखना ये है।
ठीक है सर।
जो ऑर्डर है जो सरकार ने दिया है, मंत्री घूम रहे हैं, चीफ मिनिस्टर घूम रहे हैं, उस रिपोर्ट जानी चाहिए। ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट नहीं जा रही है, जन समस्या जा नहीं रही है, सरकार के पास नहीं पहुंच रही, जुडिशरी में नहीं पहुंच रही, तो फिर कैसे चलेगा देश?
ठीक है,
उनको पहुंचना चाहिए, उनको हल करना चाहिए,
हल करना चाहिए। ठीक है सर।
उसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन होना चाहिए। कानून बना दिया, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं है, क्या फायदा?
ठीक है।
माँ सरस्वती शारदे
May I now request Dr. Amit Bhalla sir to please felicitate Ms. Vandana Marda on behalf of our university. That law is not confined to the pages of books or the walls of courtrooms. It is the soul of justice, the voice of the voiceless, and the foundation upon which just societies are built. For those who had the opportunity to work with him, listen to him, or study his judgments, it was clear. He was a guiding light. His legacy lives on, not just in legal archives or verdicts, but in the minds he shaped, the values he stood for, and the future he helped refine. As we listen to the voices gathered here today, some who know him personally, and others who were inspired by his work, we remember Justice Lahoti not just with reverence, but with renewed resolve to uphold the ideals he cherished: truth, fairness, courage, and justice. To officially begin this commemorative lecture, I now invite Professor Dr. Deependra Kumar Jha.
Honorable Vice President Dr. Amit Bhalla, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais,
and was among the rare 11 senior counsels to be directly elevated to the Supreme Court. Appointed as a judge in August 2014, he became only the 6th lawyer in India's history to receive such a direct elevation. Justice Lalit was part of the historic 5-judge bench that declared the practice of triple talaq unconstitutional in 2017, marking a significant step towards gender justice. During his tenure as Chief Justice, beginning on 10th August 2022, the Supreme Court disposed of over 10,000 cases and set up 6 constitutional benches, contributing to a notable reduction in case pendency. We are deeply privileged to have him as the chairperson of the Advisory Board School of Law, Manav Rachna University. His presence here today is a source of great inspiration for our students and faculty alike. May I now request Sir to kindly grace the dais and bless us with his words of wisdom.
Honorable Supreme Court of India, the Honorable President of Manav Rachna Institutions, the family members of Justice R.C. Lahoti, all the distinguished persons present today, I see some of the senior counsel practicing in the Supreme Court, some of the advocates practicing in the Supreme Court, the learned faculty members, and the students. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to be standing before you on this occasion. But I'm slightly nervous. Why? Because these are very large shoes to be filled. So therefore, to be sitting here and to be before you on this occasion, Justice R.C. Lahoti Memorial Lecture, is quite a thing which may put you on a nervous side. Why do I say so? Justice Lahoti's career in the Supreme Court from 1998 to 2005, 7 years, but remarkable career. And around the same time, I got designated in 2004. Naturally, R.C. Lahoti was part of the bench. And I was just about rising in the profession when Justice Lahoti was in the Supreme Court. So used to have number of instances where I would be appearing before him or before the court where he would be a member, and would keenly observe him. Because to my mind, if there was one Karma Yogi in the Supreme Court in those days, it was this gentleman. And it was very rightly mentioned by his daughter, the kind of approach to the matters which Justice Lahoti displayed. Very thorough when it came to preparation, very attentive when it came to listening to the counsel, very clear when it came to application of mind, and very, very concise but very telling observations when it came to judgment writing. How many of us know, and we have almost accepted it as part of our social order, that no noise in public places after 11 o'clock? Who is the creator? Who is the inventor of that idea? It was Justice Lahoti. Noise pollution matters. But I have today been given the task of taking you through some of his judicial decisions. And I would concentrate on only 3 of those decisions because slightly selfish interest on my part, because I appeared in all 3.
Former Chief Justice, Jammu and Kashmir High Court, Dr. Prashant Bhallar, Chancellor, Manav Rachana University, Professor Dr. Dipendra Kumar Jha, Vice Chancellor of the University, Justice K.K. Lahoti, former Judge of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, Dr. Asha Verma, Dean, School of Law, Manav Rachana University, Dr. Vandana Marda on the dais, senior advocates and members of the Supreme Court, High Court and District Court Bar Association, learned District Session Judge and other judicial officers of the Faridabad Session Division, members of the faculty and administration of Manav Rachana University, family members of Justice R.C. Lahoti, a very distinguished team of former bureaucrats of Haryana are also present here. They have been very closely associated with me throughout my life. I don't want to name them individually. Learned Deputy Commissioner, Commissioner of Police of the Faridabad District Administration, distinguished guests, honored of the Uday Lalit for giving me this opportunity to be with all of you and share my views on a subject which is not only close to my heart but it is also the current responsibility that I am carrying. I am only correcting the Madam Computer. Now I am looking after the National Legal Service Authority. So the legal aid is a subject which is I am statutorily responsible to cater on pan-India basis. It is a profound honor to deliver Justice R.C. Lahoti second memorial lecture at this university, where we have gathered not merely to commemorate a towering jurist, but to rekindle the ideals he so gracefully embodied: clarity of thought, constitutional fidelity, and an unwavering moral compass. Justice Lahoti, through more than 340 judgments, if I am correct, probably 342 judgments he delivered, wove these values into the very fabric of Indian jurisprudence. His legacy endures not just in law reports, but as a guiding light for legal reform and the pursuit of justice. On a personal note, I vividly remember my first interaction with Justice Lahoti, though I used to appear as a private counsel in his court occasionally, but then almost frequently when I was Advocate General for the state. But my first in-person meeting, I always fondly remember. That was the time when my name had already been notified for elevation as a judge of the High Court. That was December 2003 winter break, and we had decided to take oath after the winter break in the first week of January 2004. When I came to know that Justice Lahoti is visiting Chandigarh and is staying in the UT guest house, I sought an appointment which he very gracefully granted. That meeting left a very deep impression on me, true to his reputation for gentleness and humility. He spoke to me with warmth and candor, offering invaluable guidance, especially on the do's and don'ts of judgeship. It was a conversation I have carried with me ever since. Justice Lahoti was not merely a jurist but a philosopher of his book, Canons of Judicial Ethics, remains a moral treatise, reminding us the judiciary is not a cold instrument of the state, but a sanctuary for fairness and service. His famous lines and his visionary outlook that the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee, very popularly known as MCPC, in Supreme Court was constituted, which has since played a pivotal role in mainstreaming mediation across the country. Incidentally, I am looking after this committee also nowadays. And at present, one of the movements which I have initiated throughout the country is Mediation for a Nation for 90 days, which is going on as of now. And we are trying to identify as many cases, contentious cases for disposal through mediation. He also laid the foundation for the digital transformation of the Indian judiciary. Under his leadership, the E-Committee of the Supreme Court was established to steer the ambitious National Policy and Action Plan for implementation of information and communication technology in the Indian Judiciary 2005. That was the name of the scheme. This policy gave rise to the E-Courts project, a pan-India initiative that envisions a modern, responsive judicial system enabled by ICT infrastructure aimed at improving efficiency, transparency, and access to justice across all levels of judiciary. He is a farm worker, so what he will do? He will only speak his own language. So your app must be so updated and potentiality and capable that your app also understands his local dialect. So suppose I was asking, "Kaha adhikar ba hamar jab malik paisa na de?" If somebody will ask in Bhojpuri this question, that what I will do with your schemes? My Malik is not giving my money. Your app must be capable to answer it. In Kannada, suppose somebody says, PAN card ite, employment exchange alli hesru kuda ide adre kelsa mado avakash yeli. Means, you are offering me that there are employment schemes, you get the PAN card, this and that. What I will get with these cards unless I get a benefit of it? So your app must be capable to respond to these regional languages. So that's one aspect. There is also a pressing need to address the challenges faced by linguistic and cultural minorities. Digital platforms must not only be multilingual but also culturally nuanced. When citizens see their own stories, customs, and worldviews reflected in legal education content, barriers of alienation and mistrust crumble, making way for genuine engagement and confidence in the system. With the acceleration of remote communication post-COVID-19, there is now an opportunity to decentralize and democratize legal aid. India's experiment with tele-law services during the COVID-19 pandemic offers valuable lessons. In those challenging months and months, millions were able to consult with legal experts via simple video and phone calls, often facilitated by paralegal volunteers stationed at common service centers. These efforts proved that digital legal aid is not only feasible but also scalable when guided by will and community participation. The momentum from that period should be harnessed and institutionalized, ensuring that digital intervention remain permanent fixture rather than emergency stopgaps. Virtual Lok Adalats should also become a reality by harnessing secure video platforms. Case hearings, especially for family disputes, minor civil issues, labor disputes, can happen with minimum travel and cost, saving litigants time and resources. Artificial intelligence, of course, if ethically and transparently displayed and used, can be another game changer in helping screen cases, prioritize urgent needs, and even generate first-level documents. Guided conversations through legal aid chatbots can help citizens articulate their issues clearly, identify relevant rights, and generate basic petitions in local language. Accordingly, the systems can quickly determine whether litigants qualify for free legal aid, reducing paperwork, discretion, and possible delays.